be freed when?
No.
You have to be freed when?
Everybody should
You have to be freed when? Sowore is a journalist. Sowore is a political activist. He has not done anything wrong. All he has done is to exercise his fundamental human rights, to express himself, his right to associate, and his right to be free. The Nigerian government on August 3rd abducted him cowardly in the middle of the night, and ever since he has been incommunicado. Sowore is demanding that Nigeria, in spite of the huge resources we have, that it continues to wallow in mediocre leadership, and Nigerian citizens continue to live in abject poverty and penury. Sowore is demanding that it is unconscionable for you to have the average Nigerian worker going home with paltry and miserable amount of 18,000 naira a month. And there was so much hue and cries by the political elites who believed that increasing the minimum wage to 30,000 was impossible for a country that earns billions and billions and billions of dollars from oil. A country whose senators, politicians earn about $450,000 every year for doing absolutely nothing. But they believe that the Nigerian worker and the average Nigerian should continue to live in squatter. Sowore is demanding that every Nigerian deserves a good health care, even though the Nigerian president will always travel to the UK to take care of his health. Sowore is demanding that it is inexplicable that Nigeria does not have infrastructure development in spite of the billions of dollars that the country has earned and continues to earn. We have a dichotomy in Nigeria between the rich and the poor. The rich keep getting richer and the poor keeps getting poorer. Sowore, a very dogged human rights activist, very committed to the cause, left the convenience of the United States to go to Nigeria and mobilize Nigerians to protest against the incompetence, against the despair, against the helplessness of the Nigerian life. Sowore intended to give voice to the voiceless in Nigeria. Yes. And what did we find? They had to go abduct him. They grabbed him, they pushed him around and flew him from Lagos to Abuja. What they have done is an attempt to suppress the will of the people. But Buhari ought to know that it is impossible for you to suppress that will, because the time has come. The time has come for Nigerians to rise up and demand that enough is enough. It's time for Nigerians to rise up and demand that the shenanigans of the political class has come to stop. Yes. The country belongs to everybody.
All of us.
It doesn't belong to that very few Nigerians who are holding the Nigerian country by the jugular. They are holding and putting the country in a chokehold. It is inconceivable that anybody would imagine that Nigerians will continue to live the way it's inconceivable that Nigerians will continue to live in the condition they are living in. And everybody knows that. Every Nigerian knows that. When you go to parties, when you go to churches, all we discuss is the state of Nigeria. And Sowore believes, and he has said, he can no longer sit on his arms and watch the country that is supposed to be the greatest country on the face of the earth, considering the potentials in terms of the human and natural resources, and watch that country drift into tyranny, drift into fascism, drift into totalitarianism, and of course, the poorest capital in the world. The corruption continues because there's enough to go around for everybody, but we don't have enough to go around for the greedy. And Nigerians are demanding, through Sowore, that good governance is the hallmark of democracy, that Nigerians deserve a better life. So we are also insisting now, and we are demanding that Omoyele Sowore should be released, and be released now. He has to be released unconditionally. Yes. Sowore has to be released unconditionally. Sowore has to be released unconditionally. We are not going to beg. Yes. We are not going to beg, because this time we are at the point of no return. Sowore understands the people. Sowore is giving voice to the people. Sowore ran in an election which we all know was a sham. It was a case of distributing numbers. Yeah, we are humbled by the number they gave to Sowore, but that does not mean that Sowore has advocated his right to be able to speak out for the despotency in Nigeria. So we are here today to demand that Sowore should be released. The Nigerian government, as represented here by the consulate chief or whosoever is there, we are demanding that all you are doing to Sowore is a breach of his fundamental human rights, as guaranteed by the United Nations Charter, African Union Charter, EU Charter, and the Charter of Humanity. He hasn't done anything. How can you explain this? That the likes of the Kingdom Alliance, that the likes of the dregs amongst us, who are in the National Assembly, who are ministers, after a 4-year failure report card, all Buhari can do is to recycle these failed politicians. Those people, they are actually free, while Sowore is incarcerated. What an oxymoron. How can you defend that? It's unconscionable. And we are insisting that Sowore has to be released. And until he's released, we will continue to fight on his behalf. On Tuesday, September 24th, we will be at the United Nations. We are where the president is coming. And we will be there in large numbers to be able to speak out and tell Buhari to go back home. To go back home and fix Nigeria. And of course, release Sowore. Enough! It's enough! Enough! It's enough! Enough! It's enough! Enough! It's enough! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for great Nigerian people. Great Nigerian Nigeria, water run away. Water run away. When I remember Nigeria, water run away. Water run away. When I remember Nepal, water run away. Water run away. Aluta Victoria, Asata, Victoria, Victoria, Asata, Victoria, 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 Asata. Greatest Nigerian people, greatest of the Nigerian people, greatest of the greatest Nigerian people. I am aware that it's summer in New York and we all have engagements, but due to our commitment to this cause, we are here and we are not going to give up. A couple of weeks ago, and those children in very high spirits, you will see that it's in the gene, and you would expect that kids of that age that they might, be frustrated or sad. But what it told to me actually gave me an encouragement that we actually have to fight on. We have in our midst Mrs. Sowore, so I'm going to defer to her to be able to address us. So please welcome Mrs. Sowore. Welcome. Did you see the interview she had? It's actually in the gym with the children and of course with the wife. Okay, you have the floor.
Hi everyone for coming out to support Yele today. It's sad to see that he's been held for so many days for something like wanting a better life for people in Nigeria. Simple things like education and security and minimum wage are super important things for everybody to have, and to be held and kept silent for over 47 days just really, really hurts my heart. So I want to say thank you to everybody here. Thank you for providing support. Thank you for continuing to keep his name in the news, in the forefront. This will be over, and one day Nigeria will be what Yele dreams that it will be. Thank you, everybody.
Round of applause.
Please poster for Mrs. Sowore. Poster! 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 More posters for her. Poster! Poster! Poster!
Stand up for your right. Green, white, green. Don't give up and fight. Green, white, green. Everything will be alright. Green, white, green.
How has it been for you? For more than 47 days now. Sure?
Yeah.
So how's it been?
Greatest of the greatest of the greatest.
What I would say is Yele is fighting for what he believes in. He's fighting for a better Nigeria, and somebody has to do it, and I fully support him, and I believe that the leaders of Nigeria at some point will be open to a dialogue and a conversation to really help Nigeria become the place that we all dream of.
Sowore was abducted by the Nigerian security forces on the 3rd of August in an hotel at 3 a.m. in Nigeria. Up till now, they have not been able to press a single charge. Initially, they were struggling with the definition of revolution until Sowore's attorney made the world realize that even President Buhari is an advocate of revolution, and he was going to be the first witness. Now they have walked away from the word revolution. Now they were saying there was a meeting with somebody, a fellow Nigerian. Sowore has never killed anybody. Sowore has never committed a crime before. But we have people in government, in Buhari's government, that are hosting criminals
that have killed thousands of Nigerians and are using Nigeria's taxes, taxpayers' money to compensate bandits, terrorists. But Sowore is sitting down in detention without committing any crime. The only crime he has committed to the likes of Buhari is that he is advocating for a minimum wage that Buhari himself promised that it will be implemented. He was clamoring that the security of the country is falling apart and Nigeria has become a failed state. There is no country on earth today where the daily number of deaths by banditry, terrorists, and kidnapping and abduction is greater than Nigeria. How can countries officially at war be safer than Nigeria? That is what Omoyele Sowore was clamoring for, that this problem be fixed. And the response of the coward Buhari security operative was to go and abduct him in the middle of the night. They obtained an ex parte motion and uncontested court ruling to keep him for 45 days. It's 46 days. He's still in detention. We are calling for his immediate and unconditional release. And the last time we were here on August 1st, we registered a protest and we met with the Consulate here. We submitted our formal demand that the Buhari government cannot take us back to the past. In 1983, the same Buhari overthrew our democratically elected president. Nigerians have the likes of Sowore forced the military to a standstill and brought back peace. He cannot afford to take us back. So Sowore has committed no crime. You cannot detain somebody clamoring for social justice, clamoring for fairness, and accuse him of committing an act of terrorism and treasonable felony. So we are here today. We want the message to go around, sound and clear, that we want immediate and unconditional release of Omoyele Sowore. Thank you.
Enough! 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 Free Sowore! Free Sowore! Free Sowore! Solid! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! We shall always fight for our rights.
Let us, Nigeria people, articulate Nigeria people. Let us of the greatest Nigeria people. Thank you all for coming. Our demand is simple, very, very simple. We just want the unconditional release of Omoyele Sowore and others in detention. We believe they are innocent. All they are asking for is good governance. And all we all Nigerians, both home and in diaspora, are asking for is good governance. We want better life for our people. Here we are in the US. We are enjoying everything that is humanly possible. We are enjoying freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of association, all the freedoms that you can think of in the United States. Right here, we are protesting. The police are here guiding us. They are not harassing us. They are all gentlemen of security. See the way they are. They are here protecting us, ensuring that we have a peaceful demonstration. Those are the things that we want for our country, Nigeria. We know it's possible. We have the wherewithal. We have the manpower. We have the skill. We have the strategy. We have everything that's going to make us a prosperous nation. And that is what we are here for.
Sowore has been doing that for very long time. And we're here to do the good. We're here for all over America. So please,
Consulate General, from all the transportation to the presidency.
I'm sure you are ashamed of the state of Nigeria. I'm sure you are ashamed of the state of Nigeria. Our election should be released now. We are not going to compromise that. Sowore has to be released now. We are not going to take that. Nigerians are suffering for too long. You guys are here representing the government. Nigerians have been suppressed and oppressed. I will not take that. Sowore should be released now. Sowore should be released now.
One can travel everywhere.
Not innocent souls. The government are not here to dialogue with individuals. Nigerians are suffering. I know you are here representing a hopeless country. We are not going to take that. Sowore should be released and be released now. Sowore has not done anything. So I'm not taking the 3 o'clock in the morning.
Because Sowore hasn't done anything to deserve to be in prison. For what reason?
There's no reason to keep him 1 day detention.
We need him to come down.
For 5 days, from the time in America, take back movement that Sowore must be released. On no condition Sowore should be detained. We will not take it.
Thank you.
Who are you, sir?
We
Can you introduce yourself, sir?
To the CG, and it will be forwarded to the President of
Divide the
Nigeria.
protest. We are here for a protest. Even if you are speaking, let us speak in one voice. Don't divide the protest. Sir, if you want to attend to us, can you let us see you so that we can discuss? Okay. Let's go to the
Ashamed of himself. He should be ashamed of himself. Locking up innocent men.
We are not going to negotiate. Government should release him now. Better Nigerian people. Better Nigerian people. Better Nigerian people. Better the Nigerian people. We are here to demand the release of Sowore. We are not here to negotiate for his release. We are not here to massage anybody's ego. We are not here to be lied to. We are not here to be sweet talk. We are here to make a single demand. And I'm sure they know that. If you have a Consulate General who doesn't know what the government is doing, then they're not worth their salt. We are here to demand the release of Sowore. And anybody who thinks that this is a joke has to understand that Nigerians around the globe are coming together to demand for his release. And now we're going to do. So we are not here to negotiate or have a meeting or have a discussion with Sowore. We are here to protest and demand for his release. On Tuesday, September 24th, at the UN, we'll be having a similar protest to demand for his release because Buhari will be here. So when we come here, we come in here for a singular reason, and what we're going to do is to protest for his release. So once we leave here, we're going to go to the UN now to continue the other phase of the protest. Protest Nigerian people. Protest Nigerian people. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Greatest Nigerian people. Greatest Nigerian people. By the show of hands, tell me if there's anybody who is satisfied with the state of events in Nigeria.
Nobody.
Tell me if there's anyone who is satisfied with the rate of kidnapping in Nigeria. Tell me if there's anybody who is satisfied with the state of the decay and dilapidated infrastructure in Nigeria. So why do we need to mince words? And that's what Sowore has done. Sowore is fed up with all the efforts to placate and massage the ego of our oppressors. We're not going to negotiate with those who are oppressing us. We're not going to discuss and have a meeting or negotiate with those who are suppressing the aspiration of Nigerians. They don't deserve that respect. They don't deserve such an audience. And they know if they need us to meet with them to tell them what is going on in Nigeria, then shame on them. Shame on them. Shame on them. Sowore represents the voice, the people, and the ability of Nigerians to be able to free themselves. Nigerians are no cowards. And Sowore understands that we are actually sitting on the keg bomb. As a matter of fact, he's doing the government a favor by leading a protest to be able to express the way Nigerians feel. Because once the revolution is uncoordinated, then all bets are what? They're lost. But in this case, what Sowore is doing is to protect and give a voice to voiceless Nigerians. There's just no way that out of all these years, with all the revenue, with all money made by the Nigerian government, that Nigeria is in the state it is today. South Africa has a population of 50 million people. Guess how many megawatts of power they able to generate? 57,000. Nigeria has a population of almost 200 million. Guess how many power they able to generate? 4,000. 4,000. How do you explain that?
What a shame!
How do you explain that?
Shame to worry.
So our generations, our children and our generations that are unborn, we hold them that duty. And that's what Sowore is doing. To speak out and demand that a Nigeria of our dream must emerge in our lifetime. We have had enough of the procrastination. We have had enough of the negotiation. It is time to demand for action, and action now. And that's what Sowore is demanding for. So free Sowore! Free Sowore! Free Sowore! We are now going to the UN to continue the other half. Thank you.
Take it back. Take it back. Take it back. Great Nigerian people. Friends of Nigeria. We've come here for a very simple reason. We've come to demand that the Nigerian government, that Buhari's government, releases unconditionally Omoyele Sowore and all the other patriots that were arrested for one simple reason. When Sowore decided, when he declared that he was going to take protest, there were only 5 demands that he made. The first demand that Sowore made was that Nigeria's situation in terms of the economy and jobs had to change. The second demand was that Nigeria's corruption problems had to be addressed. The third demand was that the educational system had to be revamped. The additional demand, the very simple demands that were made, was that we needed reforms and that Nigeria needed to move forward. 5 simple demands. And for making demands that mirrored the legitimate demands of the Nigerian people, the Buhari government arrested Sowore. For those who think we are going to be silent while a tyrant and a dictator pretends to be a democrat, they've gotten it wrong. Yes. We will never be silent. Yes. We will never be quiet. Yes. Sowore is in jail today because he refused to be silent. Yes. And the Buhari government should realize this, that if they think they will come to New York next week and pretend to the world that they are Democrats, they are in for trouble. Yes. We can assure them of one thing, that if they think that the agitations of people in Nigeria will not be listened to, we can assure them that the laws of this country will allow us to speak to them
in an unhindered fashion. We can assure Buhari that when he comes here next week, we will welcome him. We will welcome him in our own special way. As Nigerians, we will speak truth to power. We will welcome him with the Festival of New Yams. We will welcome him with a Festival of New Yams. As my people would say, who don't know? Who don't know? Who don't know? Buhari will be here next week. And what we want the Nigerian government to know is very simple. When they took Sowore to court, the courts gave them 45 days. 45 days to come up with whatever investigation they wanted to. It is now 45 days, and they have found absolutely nothing. Because speaking truth to power is not treason. Giving voice to the legitimate needs and cries of the Nigerian people is not treason. So what we want them to do is very simple. Buhari has the opportunity before Tuesday next week, before Tuesday the 24th of September. He has an opportunity before that day, and that is the day that he's supposed to be speaking at the UN. Yes. He has an opportunity to release Omoyele Sowore and all the other people, all the other patriots that were arrested alongside him and as part of the legitimate protest of the Nigerian people. And here's what we are going to assure the government of: that if they refuse to release Sowore, if they do not allow him to go unconditionally, that our voices will never be muted. We will continue to protest. We will continue to speak truth to power until Nigeria changes. Yes. Thank you very much. Take it back. Action. Take it back. Action. And now moving to the next.
Can you send me the video?
We're going to the United Nations building, where we're going to meet our president on the 24th. And we're going to give you what we call Where's Sowore? Take it back! Action! Take it back! Action! Action! No going back! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever!
So, Mr. Rono, where are we moving to?
United Nations. Is it okay to send me now?
So now we are marching to United Nations.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on, Energy, let's go.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight our right. Solidarity
Can we start moving? Let's go. Yeah, let's keep moving. Let's go, guys.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Aluta continua. Aluta continua. Aluta. 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 Aluta continua. Victoria. Victoria. Santa. Victoria. Santa. Victoria. 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 Santa. Aluta. Aluta continua. Aluta. Aluta continua. Aluta. 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 Aluta continua. Victoria. Victoria. Santa. Victoria. Victoria. Santa. Victoria. 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 Santa. Aluta. Aluta continua. Aluta. Aluta continua. Aluta. Aluta. Aluta continua. Victoria. Victoria. Santa. Victoria. Victoria. Santa. Victoria. 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 Santa. Aluta. Aluta.
So as you can see, we are now at the United Nations.
à luta continua, à luta continua, à luta, à luta continua. Victoria Asata, Victoria Asata, Victoria, Victoria, Victoria Asata, a luta continua, a luta continua, a luta, a luta, a luta continua. Nigeria must be free. Nigeria, Nigeria shall be free. Nigeria, Nigeria, Nigeria must be free. Sowore must be free. Sowore must be free. Sowore, Sowore, Sowore must be free. Victoria, Victoria Asata. Victoria Asata. Victoria, Victoria, Victoria Asata. Aluta, aluta continua. Aluta, aluta continua. Aluta, aluta, aluta continua. Nigeria, Nigeria must be free. Nigeria, Nigeria must be free. Nigeria, Nigeria, Nigeria must be free. Sowore, Sowore must be free. Sowore, Sowore must be free. Sowore, Sowore, Sowore must be free. Sowore, Sowore, Sowore must be free. Sowore, Sowore must be free. Sowore, Sowore must be free. Sowore, Sowore, Sowore must be free. Nigeria, Nigeria must be free. Nigeria, Nigeria must be free. Nigeria, Nigeria, Nigeria must be free. Aluta, aluta continua. Aluta, aluta continua. Aluta, aluta, aluta continua. Victoria, Victoria Asata. Victoria Asata. Victoria, Victoria, Victoria Asata. Sowore, Sowore must be free. Sowore, Sowore must be free. Sowore, Sowore, Sowore must be free. Nigeria, Nigeria must be free. Nigeria, Nigeria must be free. Nigeria, Nigeria, Nigeria must be free. Sowore, Sowore must be free. Sowore, Sowore must be free. Sowore, Sowore, Sowore must be free. Aluta, aluta continua. Aluta, aluta continua. Aluta, aluta, aluta continua. Nigeria, Nigeria must be free. free. Nigeria, Nigeria must be free. Nigeria, 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 Nigeria must be free. Sowore, Sowore must be free. Sowore, Sowore must be free. Sowore, Sowore, Sowore must be free. Sowore, Sowore must be free. Sowore, Sowore must be free. Sowore, Sowore, Sowore must be free. Nigeria, Nigeria must be free. Nigeria, Nigeria must be free. Nigeria, Nigeria. Greatest Nigeria people. Greatest Nigeria people. Greatest our friends of Nigeria. Greatest United Nations. Greatest of the greatest of the greatest for the greatest and the greatest United Nations. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
We are here today for a very, very serious business. Our business here today is to call the attention of the whole world to the injustice taking place in Nigeria right now. When Nigerians came together and decided to put Buhari in power, we thought we were voting for a Democrat. We did not realize, or we did not bargain for, a dictator who merely changed his garments. He put down the military khaki and came to us in an agbada. Buhari has proven over and over and over again to be a dictator. And on top of that, he cares less about the plight of Nigerians. By every economic and social indication or indicators, Nigeria is sliding down south. And this is why a man like Sowore came up to say enough is enough. Why is the Nigerian government?
I didn't hear anything bad about this one.
Why are they angry at him? Because he advocated for a revolution in Nigeria. What is the problem with advocating for a revolution? We are here today to educate them that the word revolution does not necessarily mean violence. Revolution does not necessarily mean violence. I'll give a few examples. When Martin Luther the Reformer, when he advocated a change in the way church business is conducted, no one accused him of being a terrorist. And that advocacy that he championed in the 1600s is what gave back to the Lutheran Church, the Pentecostal Church, and all these other churches that are different from the Catholic Church today.
Martin Luther King in the history books is a hero. When the Americans talk about industrial revolution, they're not talking about terrorism. They're not talking about violence. Revolution simply means change. Change from the status quo ante. Every time you cause a change in a system for good, you cause a revolution. Revolution means to revolve, to turn around, to change. It does not necessarily mean violence. And all the government did was to convert or convolute the original meaning of revolution and invert their own meaning, which is violence. And for this, they call Sowore a terrorist and they are holding him illegally. This is why we are here, to call the attention of the world to this injustice and to ask respectfully that the world wakes in before Nigeria turns into a jungle where no law is observed. We want the whole world to wade in, to call this senseless government to put some sense into their heads before Nigeria slides into anarchy. It's been over 45 days that Sowore has been abducted in the dead of the night. He's been kept incommunicado. Yet, the government has no evidence to pin against him. They have no evidence with which to convict him, and they continue to hold him. We are here to join the whole world in saying, enough! 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 We're asking that the whole world lend a voice into this struggle. Our demand is very simple. Free Sowore now! Free Sowore now! Free Sowore now! It is as simple as that. We are also asking, not just Sowore, every other political victim, every other victim of government persecution.
Yeah, we can say.
Enough!
It's enough!
Enough!
It's enough!
Nigeria must be free. Nigeria must be free. Nigeria, Nigeria, Nigeria. Sowore,
Sowore must be free.
Sowore,
Sowore must be free.
Sowore, Sowore, Sowore must be free.
Yes, so that you capture. Please go behind.
Yeah, we're going to be behind.
Yeah, the banner. Be behind the banner.
Be behind the banner, yeah. Everybody will get
Yeah,
behind the banner.
banner.
Coalition for revolution now. My time is so big. Free Sowore now. Revolution now.
Free Sowore.
Free Sowore.
Free
Great Nigeria people! Great Nigeria people! Great Nigeria people! Great Gbogbo! Great Baba, great Bobo, great Baba. I want to speak in Fiji, in a broken language. That is the language of the masses of the people of Nigeria. Share the in Nigeria, where masses, we have a government in Nigeria. The government will be say he go negotiate with terrorists. Government where they negotiate with terrorists and bandits and people who are terrorizing the people of Nigeria. Negotiate with them and give them billions of naira. And incarcerate an activist. Somebody who has seen the wrath of the society and is clamoring for a better Nigeria. They incarcerate him. Is that a government?
No.
Now government be that? No. Government where no fee provide the basic amenity for him people. Where no fee provide education. Over millions of people are outside on the streets. Children. They dey for street, nothing. No education, no electricity, no good roads, no power. Which country be that? No security. If you talk, they go kill you. If you don't talk, you go die. Moku kuku talk, moku die. Because freedom of speech is our right. It's there for our constitution. And that constitution, if you say that jungle constitution, where they bring together in order to enslave us. That constitution, they patch them. They patch them together to enslave us. And even in that constitution, our freedom to talk freely, our freedom of speech, freedom to protest, they collect that from our hand. They collect that freedom from our hand. You cannot say anything, you cannot even express your opinion and express your mind for Nigeria, for anywhere. They go catch you, they go lock you up. Yes. In the middle of the night, in the Gestapo time, they catch Sowore, they go lock her up. They still collect 45 days. They were asking for 90 days, they collect 45 days. And 45 days don't pass. I don't know if they go school, they don't sabi count. They don't sabi count. So we help them count them. And now it's over 45 days. Make them release, they no release. And their own children, then they say they go abroad, they go take medical for Germany, medical for UK, medical for America. We see our environment for America. Look at the environment. A civilized economy, a civilized country. But then go come here, they go come see better things. When they happen here, they go come Nigeria. They go come build house, they go come do fence. Where go there high, pass that one. They go come put police. The masses of Nigeria has not even gotten to a stage. It will go to a stage that fence will go break them. Yes. We go bring their house and we go pass justice on them. Yes. Because he who wants equity must go with clean hand. They are taking our resources. Yam no fit. Yam no do that for Nigeria. They won't come chop yam for Germany. So they have a special yam they are bringing down to this country. But we are tired. We are tired of corruption. We are tired of injustice. We are tired of everything that they are doing in that country that is not right. We want justice. And justice for we serve. Justice, injustice for one is injustice to all. They have done injustice to Sowore. And we will not stand and close our mouths and see the way they are doing. No matter the threats they will be sending, I know they will soon go and send all of us threats on Facebook that will come to Nigeria, they will kill us. If you kill us once, you cannot kill us another time. And we are ready to lay down our life for the development of our country. We are here to tell them, to pass the message across to them, to let them know that you cannot kill all of us. Even an idea that the time has come. The time of idea to liberate Nigeria has come. And you cannot kill that idea. And I'm telling you, my life is just one. And if you kill me, you cannot take me out of the grave and kill me again. And because we are ready for anything, before it generates to other things, and other groups started taking arms, we come, we have no arms, we have no gun, and you incarcerated us. You killing us. You can't travel from one place to another in your country without being relayed. The police will harass you, the army will harass you, the navy will harass you, everything will harass you. You can't even set up a business. They will kill it. Right now, we are saying no to corruption, no to stealing our money and taking it to develop another country, no to them coming to America, Europe, or wherever they go for medicals. Is it very wrong to demand good governance? Is it very wrong to demand free health for all? They will take the money, they will come and build their own house, they will buy house in America, buy house wherever. And they are leaving Nigeria with nothing. The money is enough to go around for everybody. Nigeria is making, the kind of money they are making is enough to sort Nigerians out. It's even enough to cover the whole of Africa. But they go collect the money, they go come give us for Swiss. They go buy house for Dubai. They go buy house for America. And Nigeria is left with nothing. And we are saying no. We have been sleeping too much. Nigeria has woken up. Nigerians have to be free. And no more Sowore, we are demanding unconditional. We talk say una go must release them unconditionally. If they no hear, we go get somebody who can translate it in Hausa to the president, Muhammadu Buhari. And as a Yoruba man, I can translate it to the vice president. Because the man has returned to his kitchen cabinet right now. Without mixing words, we want Sowore to be freed now. Because it's right to speak, to freedom of speech and protest. He has exercised that right and they are caging him for that. So we are saying right now, no more detention. You have to release him unconditionally. And we demand that without missing word. And that is what we demand. Thank you.
When I remember my country, water run away my eye. Water run away my eye. When I remember water run away my eye. Water run away my eye. When I remember waiting they do to them, and always they cry, oh. Water run away my eye. Of the greatest Nigerian. Of the greatest Nigerian. Of the greatest Nigerian. Please, Kulu Temba. Please, we are here for a purpose. And why we are here is to let people know what we are facing in our country. As countries, as Nigerians, so far, we enjoy the benefits of we are Nigerians. But it's quite unfortunate, back home, we are being maltreated as a non-Nigerian. And that's why we are here. So I want everybody to be active, to be well cooperated to what we're going to do. Because we are not here for play and we are here for joke. When I remember, water run away my eye. Water run away my eye. When I see waiting they happen in South Africa, water run away my eye. Water run away my eye. When I remember waiting they happen for that my home country, oh, water run away my eye. Water run away my eye. Making a tell Buhari, oh, saying government they destroy us, oh, water run away my eye. Water run away. Making a tell Tinubu, say we